Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you got my message that I was going to be 15 minutes late. I'm now 16 minutes late, so my apologies. I'm Alison Sullivan. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia on the west coast of Canada. So thanks for joining me, and I know I'm late for today. I had a meeting that ended just as I would normally come on. So I'm on live on my YouTube channel, yay. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm live here in my Facebook page. Let's have a check. Yeah, there I am. And my sound is working, so we're good. Hi, Ellie. How are you? Thanks for joining me late. It's actually sunny outside, but it's a kind of a up and down. It has been sunny and it's been pouring rain and then sunny and pouring rain. So as a West Coaster, we're not going to complain when the sun comes out. Okay, so or when it rains, because everything has its purpose. Hi Mo, how are you? Thanks for joining. It might be just us three on the live today because I am late. And most people would start looking for me at 3 o'clock. So we'll just give it a minute and just see if anyone else can join us. Otherwise, we will get started. Today we're going to be using a set I haven't used on camera yet. It is, here it is, it's that Mega Suite, that Country Woods Mega Suite. A little crooked there. Okay. Love it. Love everything about this suite. So once we get just a minute in here, then we can get started. And hopefully people will join us. Or not, they'll watch on the replay. Hi, Mary. How are you? From Ireland. It's 11:30 at night. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining me, Mary. I hope I can keep you up. All right, so we go over to, let's go over here to our actual screen. Okay, so we are going to be using the Country Woods Suite. Let me grab my catalog. Page 5051 in the catalog. We've got the two bundles. We've got the Country Birdhouse, so cute, and then we've got the Country Flowers. Hi, Margaret. How are you? Nice to see you. Sorry, I got distracted by Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Keisha. How are you? I was just saying the sun's out, but we shouldn't even say that out loud, right? Because anything can happen. Okay, so we got the two bundles. Then we have some embellishments. These are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. We love those. I've been using those a lot with that Take to the Sky. Then there's also a embossing folder. This is Eyelet, I think, right? Eyelet 3D, which actually I wish I had used today on my card. Oh well, too late. And then there's some ribbon. There's a duo pack here. We've got two colors. We've got petal pink and then we got a white one. And they say diagonally trim. So they've got like a diagonal, what am I trying to say, feature kind of in them, okay? Then we have the two stars of the show. We have the designer series paper. There's two kinds. There's the Country Birdhouse and there's the Country Flowers. So, is that right? Country Lace, sorry. Country Woods, Country Lace. Yes. So let me show you the Country Lace. Get that for you. How pretty is this? I see these are the kind of designer series paper that are my favorites. I like anything like this that looks rustic, like wood grain. Love it. This one's really pretty because it's got kind of the gray in it, but actually if you look at it in a different light, it's almost like a misty moonlight. This one's pretty too. This looks like old planks of wood that have been weathered, right? Same with this one. Love this. Then here's the other side. We're getting a bit darker over here. Really dark on this one. Love this one. This one's pretty too. We've got that blue gray. And then we have what I would call old-fashioned paneling. Remember in our rec rooms growing up? Okay, so that's the Country Woods 12 by 12. Love it. And of course, our stamps come with coordinating dies. Okay, so that's the suite. So today I was looking in the catalog at the samples, and I see there was a lot that were done kind of on mini cards, like 3x3s, which reminded me of our cards and our note cards. I thought, do we still sell note cards? Guess what we do? So here they are. They're already done for you. You get the envelopes and the cards already cut and scored for you. They are thicker. They're nice. They're a nice weight, which is great. And they're a perfect size because you don't have to write a whole bunch of stuff to people that you don't want to write. So we're going to make a couple of those today. Okay. So like I said, we've got our note card. Now, when this is open, it is, let me just double check. I think it's 7 by 5. I scored it 3.5. Now you could make it yourself, but then you wouldn't get the envelope. And the envelope's really great, right? Okay, so I've got designer series paper. You can see that one. And I got wild wheat. So wild wheat, let's see, this one here, this piece is cut 3, I think it's 3. Yeah, 3 by 4.5. And I didn't want a full 1/4 inch of the wheat. Like I just wanted it a nice little border. So I only added 1/8 of an inch rather than 1/4 of an inch. Does that make sense? So that means that this would be 4 5/8 by 3 1/8. Okay, so that's what we've got. All right. So what I want to do is a lot of the samples in the catalog are stamped right on the designer series paper. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to grab the Memento ink. And I'm going to use mostly the stamps from Country Flowers. So we're going to use the teapot and then this kind of cluster of flowers. And then for the sentiment, I went to the Country Birdhouse because I wanted to do happy birthday. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to ink this up with Memento ink. Gosh, I hope this is juicy enough. Oof, hope so. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp that here. There we go. And then I'm going to grab that little cluster of flowers. Hi, Wendy from Winnipeg. Thanks for joining me. We're just using the Country Woods suite today. So let me ink up my stamp. Now I'm using the Memento because we're going to be using Stampin' Blends. And whenever I use this ink, I find that if I apply the ink to the stamp versus the stamp to the ink, I have a better control. Don't you love photopolymer? Because you can see where it is. So I want to just make sure that that's there. That looks about right. Got my blind open and I think I just saw a bird fly by, which distracted me. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to color like we normally do with our blinds. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to be using wild wheat. And I've got balmy blue. And and I wanted to use just the light smoky slate. Okay. So those are the colors I'm using. Don't they look pretty together? Look how pretty they look together. I like that. I like that combo. All right, so let's start with our teapot. And I am not being fancy. I am just using this like I would a marker, like when you were in elementary school. Just going to color it all with the light smoky slate. You could use your stamp pad and your water painters. You just have a light touch. You can use watercolor pencils and a blender pen. You know, when I say blender, that's different than the blends, right? A blending pen, let me show you, is this. Okay, it's got glycerin in it and you can pull color up and use that to color. Okay, so I'm going to so I've done that. And then I don't want to add too much highlight, but I am going to take the dark smoky slate and I'm just going to add it just a little bit. just to give it a little bit of definition, but not too much. Okay. Just because I also don't want to put too much alcohol on here. Okay. So once that dries, you'll see a lot more definition. That's what we've got. Okay. Then I'm only going to take, these are quite small images, these flowers. So I don't want to get too worried about blending. So I'm going to use I think it's light, yeah, light wild wheat. For my roses. Go. And then I didn't want to add too much different colors. I wanted to keep it pretty easy here. I could have brought in maybe petal pink. That might have been nice, but too far down the rabbit hole now. Too committed. I have committed to the wheat, but that would have been pretty together. Just adding a bit of the petal pink. I'm just daubing this color on. I think I've got most of those little flowers. Won't see it as much because you got the designer series paper, right? And you've got that color, so you're kind of bringing in those colors. And then I'm going to use the dark balmy blue. And I know these are leaves, but we're going to do them in blue because we can. Okay, so just wanted to add, I like those colors together. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. How are you guys doing? Let's see. What's my Keisha saying? I think I can barely see your message over there, Keisha. So I'm going to move this over. Blend. They're not really nice with the names. Blends and blender pens and blending brushes. Come on. You're right, Keisha. Like, could you not think of another name? Yeah, something, right? We ran the world. Okay. So all I want to do now is I'm just going to glue that on. But you're right. It's like when you say to somebody blenders, blender pens, you would think blends. Like, right? Like, come on. All right. Okay. Now, see how this is, I haven't thought of this, but you see how this is just kind of sitting there? I'm going to do something that I didn't do in my original, and I hope it works. I'm going to take a light crumb cake. Oh, I hope this works. And I'm just going to put this underneath. Because otherwise, it just looks like it's suspended. Like it's just suspended in midair, and it should be anchored on here. Okay? All right. I'm also going to add some Wink of Stella to my roses. You might not be able to see it on the actual camera, but okay. All right, let's grab some other natural looking ribbon. So we've got our linen thread. I have so much linen thread. Oh man, I'm never going to run out of linen thread, ever. So much I have. I'm going to take it, leave myself a tail here, and I'm going to wrap it around. I like to do it 3 times. I don't know why, I just do. And then I want to just make a nice bow. Here go, just a nice little bow. And then I'm going to trim that off. There we go. And then you can make this a bit smaller if you want. Just keep pulling in your little tails here. And then tightening it up. There we go. Okay. And then what I want to do is, remember I wrapped this 3 times, right? So then I'm going to just separate these out a little bit so that you can actually see those 3 and that they're wrapped around. Okay. Now let's glue this down. Let's do that. Oop. Okay. Aren't these great, these little note cards? Like I said, how much can you possibly write in here? It's perfect for people who don't like to write a lot, because after you've written, Dear Jane, what else are you going to write? Have a great day, Jane. Happy birthday, Jane. Yeah, do you need to write a whole bunch of stuff? No. So we're going to pull in that petal pink. Remember I was telling you that I think that goes nice, the petal pink with those colors. So let's jazz this up a little bit. We'll use our embossing buddy. Swipe that over that. Get rid of all those oils. Versamark. Happy birthday. Just stamp that on there. By removing those oils, we're going to not hopefully have a lot of stray embossing powder stuck where we don't want it, especially when you're using black. I don't know about you guys, but there's something deadly about black. There we go. And we're just going to pop that in there. Good. Put the lid on. Okay. All safe. Okay. And then we'll just heat set this. Hey, Mary is still awake. Hope you're still with me, Mary. The good thing is when I do a live, it's never more than 30 minutes. So I'll try and show you as much as I can in 30 minutes. That's about my attention span when I'm watching something. Okay. Happy birthday. Okay. Now I want to, you could just fussy cut this, right, you guys? But let me grab my little cutter, my squeaky, I call it a squeaky. And I want to just trim off the end of it. And then trim that. Okay. Oof. There should be a warning about that squeak. And then I'm going to take my regular snips here. And I could leave this as one big word, but I'm not going to. I'm going to trim it into 2 bits. Then I'm going to grab, you're still awake, just, oh, Mary, hang in there, Mary. Hang in there. Or just come back and watch me tomorrow. You can fast forward to the part you've already seen. Okay. And now Stampin' Up! Is in Ireland, which is great. I think it was a year ago. They added Belgium and Ireland. Oh, there was another country that escapes me. I don't remember what the third country was. I know it's Belgium and Ireland for sure. So now you can watch and get the products too. Okay. All right. So birthday. And I'm using just the mini dimensionals, right, you guys? Like the teeny tinies. Happy birthday. And then sometimes when you make a card, just because it's little doesn't mean that you can't, add lots of stuff, right? It's just, it's okay. You don't have to go, oh, it's small, so I shouldn't add stuff. So I wanted to add some bling. And we've got the ribbon, which is kind of soft. So let's add something that I would call not hard, but it's, substantive, I guess. And so I found the neutral adhesive back sequins that are still, these are still available. So that's sort of a copper color. And then we kind of got a gold color. And then I think I will add another one of the, because this sort of looks like wild wheat to me. Okay. So there's our first card. So simple. And like I said, hardly anything to write. Okay. That's card number 1. Look at that. Yep, we're going to go on to card number 2. Okay, now card number 2, I've chosen this designer series paper. Love this. Oh, love this. And I am going to glue that down. Yeah, I think I will. I've cut this to the exact size of the front of the card. Okay, so the front of the card is 3.5 by 5, and so is this piece of DSP. Okay, so we're going to just glue that down. So it's covering the whole front. Okay, then I love the wild wheat too. Yeah, you're going to love this then, Keisha. I went ahead because I was just going to make this card up and show you, but I decided I have time to make it. So if you guys checked out the Spotlight on Nature dies, now, the thing I've heard from people is, love these dies, but why don't they go with the actual stamp set? I don't know. I'm not in charge. They're not specific to the stamp set, so I don't know. But anyway, I actually don't have the stamp set. I just bought the dies because I love the dies. So I took, look at all the different designs they can cut, right? So I think you get, let's see, you get 12, so 6 of each. Look at that. And I went ahead and already cut this out. Okay, wild wheat, cut the wild wheat. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. So I've got this one I used. Just have to find it. See, I was going to not make this. I was going to, well, I need this. This is one of the images I want to use, which is the flowers. And let me just grab this. Did I put it back? I wanted to use the pail. Did I put the pail back in here? Oh, I did. Okay. I don't think I used this pail. No, that's not what I used. Nope. I want this one. Is that the one I used? Oh my gosh, looks different. Oh, I know. I didn't stamp it. Okay. Just reminding myself what I did, people. Okay. Oh. All right. So I didn't do that. I used the die from Country Flowers. So I used the bucket that cuts out the bucket, but I didn't stamp the bucket. I just want to cut out the bucket. Okay. I'm just going to cut that out of the designer series paper. And then on this piece, we're going to do a little bit of coloring again. And I'm going to use the flowers. And we've got just basic white. Here we go. And we're just going to color that in. Okay. So let's see. I liked the balmy blue. So let's do a bit of that. This is a bit of a bigger, I wouldn't say big image, but it's got a little bit more open space. So I can do a little bit more blending on it. On those teeny tiny little roses. So I've got that. And so I'm using the dark balmy blue. And then I want to bring in the light balmy blue just to do a little bit of blending. Oh, night, Mary. See you tomorrow. Check in and tell me what you think of the cards tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just blending, you guys. And I'm just using the light balmy. Nothing fancy. I'm not a fancy schmancy colorer. I just do my best. And the blends really do make it easy to kind of look like you're an artist, right? Let's bring in some lemon lolly for the center of those flowers. And then let's bring in some Old Olive Light. Now I could add some dark Old Olive. But I'm going to add foundation of the light. If I want to bring in the dark, I can. I always add color. Hard to take away color. I think that's good. And then I see I've missed a few little parts of the flower. That's good. And I'm going to scoot over to my little fuse going here. I'm going to just grab the dark olive. And I am going to add a little bit just to give it a little bit more definition. Okay. There we go. All right. I think that's good. So there's our little flowers. And we're going to need the die that cuts this out. Let me grab that. Don't you love it when the dies cut out things? Love. Okay, turn, turn, turn. Turn until it matches up. And there we go. Yay. Okay. All right. Let's grab our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Now, for those of you who are customers, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine are going on sale next month. So starting June for 10% off. So it's like saving the shipping, which is really cool. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go. There we go. All right, there we go. Pop those out. Pop this out. There we go. Now, I wanted to add a sentiment, but I'm going to take my little can here, my little watering can, and I'm going to stamp on it. So let's get our Boston Buddy. And I'm going to use the words Flower Market. It's from the Country Flowers. Here we are. Flower Market. I could just stamp on this, but I really wanted it to stand out. So we're going to emboss it because that way the words will just pop and be a little bit brighter than if I just stamped in black. Okay. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a flick, and I'm going to grab, let's grab our little brush here. I won't notice it as much because the actual designer series paper has a bit of a fleck in it. So it's kind of going to hide any excess embossing powder. And I think because this is a bit tiny, I think I might be better using my tweezers rather than my fingers. And then let's heat emboss that. I love the way it just pops up and becomes like this glossy set of words. Awesome. Here we go. Okay. And here is our piece. So we're going to be just building this just like this. I'm wondering about my, where are we? There we are. I'm wondering about this. I'm not sure how I want to do this. So do I want to thread it through this whole, I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do. I haven't thought this out. Do I want to thread it through this hole? Maybe. I'm not sure. Guess we'll see what it looks like. You guys can tell me what you think. Should we thread this through a couple of times? See what we end up with. Let's see. Oop. Oop. And then I can just tie this. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this. I'm just looking. Just trying to decide if I want to do that or not. Not sure. Can vote on it. Let's see, we'll bring that down. Bring that, cut that shorter. And let's see. From the Netherlands, you couldn't sleep. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Hi. We lost someone in Ireland. We lost Mary in Ireland. She's gone to bed. But we picked up a follower in the Netherlands, so that's awesome. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's glue this. Well, let's pop this up. You know what? You can never have enough things popped up, right? No idea where my dimensionals are. Here's a set. I love these little cards. Don't you love these little note cards? Look how many cards you can make real quick, right? And like I said, just because they're little doesn't mean they can't have punch. Oh, I think I've got something that's de-stuck funny. It's probably my embossing buddy. Okay, so let's put it like this. Okay, and then let's pop this up, Flower Market. Okay, that would have been a good side to use too. That kind of, I call it the 1970 wood paneling, right? Who didn't have that? It'd be easier to ask who didn't have it rather than who did, right? Parents really thought it was cool, wood paneling. Okay. Let's see. I think that looks good. Now, can you see this is yawning, right? Like, so what I want to do is actually I'm going to take this one off because it's too high. I'm going to glue it to the flower pot here. Let's do that. And then this is going to even itself out. Because when you've got dimensionals, you want it to be the same height. Okay, so that should work. Yay! Then, let's add some Winkostella. I don't think you can have too much Winkostella. Ooh, this one's sort of running out. I have to give myself a treat and open a new one. Let's add some. You can't really see it very well on camera, but trust me, it's really fun and sparkly and pretty. Okay, then let's add some bling. Okay, let's add some bling. Grab my take a pick. Don't you love? I love Wink. I love it too. You know what? When in doubt, add some Winkostella, right? Now this one, this color here, same embellishments that we used on the first card. So remind me, you guys, what is this? What is it? I've lost the container. Here we are. Neutrals adhesive back sequins. Okay, and just do this up there. And how about this one down here? I think the texture of these and the colors work really well with this set, right? Because it's like a country looking set. Okay, so that's card number 2. So here's card number 1 and card number 2. Aren't those fun? Okay, what time have we got? Ooh, I'm running a bit late. I always say I like to get you off, but I was thinking one more thing. Let's grab one of those envelopes and you could just stamp something on the bottom here. So let's grab, I'm not going to color it in, but I am going to, oh, that would be a disaster losing my little die. Let's just add that to the corner, just like that. And then on the back, let's grab some of that fun DSP and let's measure. So the back of this flap, we know it's 5 1/8. So 5 1/8 by 2 should do it. Okay, so let's go grab our cutter. Let's go 2 inches. And let's go 5 and 1/8. Okay. And here's our cards. This side's probably the best side for it, right? Yeah, I think this side actually is a better side. So all I'm going to do is put some glue on my flap. And I'm going to position my DSP like so. And then I'm just going to take my snips and fussy cut around. It's the easiest fussy cutting you'll ever do. Just follow the little flap because it does have a bit of a curvature. There we go. So let me move, oh my gosh, all this stuff out of the way except for our sample. So here's our envelope. Here's our cards. They're pretty. Wouldn't that make a nice little set if you made those up for somebody? Like maybe 4 of them and gave them as a little gift. Hi, Sonia. How are you? Nice to see you. And thank you for sharing. Sonia's so good. She shares my videos. Appreciate that. So let me pop back over here because I'm a little bit longer than I normally am, but that's okay. All right, there we are. Okay. So, fun cards, easy cards. Now I'm kind of addicted to making a bunch of little cards. So maybe I'll keep going. Thanks, Sonia. Okay, you guys. So I will see you on Sunday. Yeah. 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday. We'll meet you back here. Like, don't use them as often as I should. Great idea to thread the linen thread through the holes. Did you like that, Mo? Oh, thanks. I wasn't sure, right? I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but it kind of does work, I think. And you know what? You're right, Mo, because I said to myself today, I looked at the catalog. Here's the catalog. And, oops, here's the catalog. And I was noticing that there was all these little guys down here, and I thought, oh, I don't really have 3x3 cards. And I thought, where are those note cards? We used to have note cards. Do we still have note cards? And we do. So you get 20, I think, and you get the envelopes. Like, so easy. I'm just using this. Yes, I am. Just the small note cards. I looked them up online. So I don't know where they are in the catalog, but I checked online to make sure that they were still available. And it came up. So, page 17. Page 17 in the annual catalog, you can see the note cards. Now, I think they only come in Whisper White now. Whisper White. Basic white. So you get, so they're on, you can see them on page 17. Your blank canvas, it says. $13.75. Okay. So there you go. Thanks, you guys. All right. So I will see you on Sunday. And until then, I hope you get some stamping in. Happy stamping. Bye for now.